Yo, you already know what time it is. We are back with another episode of the MRK podcast, episode number 21. It's me, Maki, and it's your boy Kane. I'm going to pass the mic over him, let him get his introduction in, and then we're going to get this theme song going, and then we're going to get this episode running and gunning, baby.
Yeah, man, you already know what time it is. We're back here, sir. Some more game on the ground for the Hungry Hounds. We just got the panel ready for the next round, man. So grab y'all drinks, y'all weed, whatever the fuck the case may be, and sit back because we finna have a conversation.
And with that being said, let's go. Woo! Yeah, we finna do it, man. We finna do it the right way, man. We up in here serving that game. Yeah. Episode 21. Okay. Hey. Uh. Yeah, man. So you already know what time it is, man. I swear that song never gets old, man. It's like wine. It only gets finer with time. But yeah. So what I would like to speak about today is we are literally less than 24 hours, less than 12 hours away from the highly anticipated, going on 2.5 year fight that we've all been waiting for. Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. So if you don't know, for context, they've been trying to get fights happening for 2.5 years. There's been interruptions in the negotiations due to, Tommy Fury not being able to get into America for one fight. And then the second one was because of injury. And Jake Paul sees it as just BS. He thinks that he's been ducking. Well, needless to say, 2.5 years later, they got the fight confirmed in Saudi Arabia. And Tommy Fury is 100% healthy. According to him, he's in the best shape that he's ever been in his career. Tommy Fury is the younger brother of Tyson Fury. So if you know who Tyson Fury is, he's the greatest heavyweight of all times. I mean, he just recently got over the trilogy with Deontay Wilder, knocked his ass out 3 times in a row. And that was literally, it got to the point where he was overlapping. There was nobody that could fuck with him, so he took a break. He's getting ready to fight again and take another title in another weight class. But it just goes to show he's a great, right? But he has a brother, the younger brother, half brother, but still a brother, that is up and coming. He's young. He's 23 years old, proving himself. He has a record of 8-0. He's a professional boxer. Now, this is the perfect setup for Jake Paul because Jake Paul hasn't been tested by a younger fighter and a true boxer. So this will really solidify whether Jake Paul has what it takes or he's just a novice. And if he's a novice, even if he loses, I think he should continue. He shouldn't let that knock him down. But obviously, there's a lot of pressure on both people. Tommy Fury, if he loses this fight, not only does he not get any money, but he has to change his last name and he's going to get disowned by his family. So you can only imagine the pressure. His father's there, his older brother's there, everybody's there. So with that being said, I'm going with Jake Paul because I like Jake Paul personally. I like his story. I like Tommy Fury as well, but I think Jake Paul just has too much knockout power in that right hand, and he's improved much more each and every fight. And I think he can handle the pressure, whereas Tommy Fury has never had this much pressure. Jake Paul's used to it. Every fight he has this amount of pressure. So I'm going with Jake on this one, but if Tommy wins, it has to be by knockout because he's not going to outpoint Jake. But with that being said, Kane, who do you think is going to win this fight? And personally, who would you like to win this fight more?
Man, that's a good question because I think they're both good fighters. But honestly, me personally, I think Jake gonna win just simply because, like you said, he's got a lot of knockout power in that right hand, man. The way he knocked Anderson Silva down, I didn't think he was gonna knock him down like that. When he did, it shook me. So I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be a fucking amazing fight, and we're gonna see who really gonna win. Do I want Jake Paul to win? Hell yeah. He came from nothing up to something, you know. He didn't even start out as a fighter. He started out on fucking what was it, Disney Channel. Then he went to YouTube. Then he went to boxing, you know. But you gotta it's Tyson Fury, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But
Tommy
or
Fury, the younger brother.
Tommy
Tyson
Fury,
Fury's his older
yeah,
brother.
my fault. Tommy Fury. I'd be getting the two mixed up. But Tommy Fury, you gotta respect the fact that he took that deal, man, because that's a big ass deal. You lose your last name and you don't get no type of money if you lose. Like I'm gonna be straight up, bro. I don't think I could take a deal like that just simply because I wouldn't have the confidence like that to win. especially against somebody who's. I don't think Jake Paul has not lost yet, has he? I don't think he
Undefeated,
has.
6-0.
That's what I'm saying, man. I don't think that I would be able to have the confidence to beat somebody who undefeated like that under a deal like that. So the fact that he did that, man, I mean, you gotta have respect for that shit. But man, I'm just excited to see how this fight's gonna go. I'm excited to see who's gonna win, who's gonna lose, who's gonna get knocked out. And like you said, if Tommy Fury do win, it got to be by knockout because Jake Paul, man, he beat Anderson Silva by that knockdown and by points. So yeah, man, I just think it's gonna be a real interesting ass fight, and I want Jake Paul to win.
Yeah, man, and it's an early fight. It's in Saudi Arabia, so it'll be 1 p.m., 2 p.m. Eastern. It's crazy, man. I'm curious to see the reception of the sales since America's not. I mean, a lot of people in America won't be awake at that time, but I bet I'm curious to see the sales numbers because this is going to be a big fight, and I think it might be the best sales he's ever gotten for a fight. The Jake Paul Anderson Silva fight flopped with the numbers because Jake Paul believes that Dana White purposely put out information whenever Anderson Silva said he got knocked out in camp. He put it out before a week before the fight, even though that was a long time ago. But he put it out that way people would be like, "Oh man, we don't want to watch this fight." Anderson Silva just got recently knocked out. He's probably going to lose, and they didn't want to watch it. So the sales dropped like over 10 times what they were once that news came out. So Jake Paul feels like they sabotaged his fight. So that could have been one of the greatest fights, according sales wise. But this one, man, this might be the greatest one. Which, if Dana White really did that, that's some fuck ass shit, bro. But I mean, because really, how can you be mad at Jake Paul? I mean, all he's trying to do is get more UFC fighters advocacy for pay. Because a lot of these people y'all see on the TV, y'all think just because they got a lot of followers and because they're on TV and because they're in the UFC that they're able to live off of fighting. That's not the case. I mean, think about it. Your paychecks are typically anywhere from $900 to $1,200 as an average um, middle to low class worker, and you think that you can live off that if you only got it once a year? Hell no. And that's what these UFC fighters are getting. Some of them less than that. And other than that, that means that they have to go and fucking work another job. So imagine putting your body, life, and everything on the risk, all all in the name of barely getting any money and then also having to go work back at McDonald's or fucking go work somewhere else. If you're in the UFC, if you make it to the UFC, that's like making it to the NFL. You should not have to work another job. And they only get um I think 10% of the revenue or something like that. Jake Paul wants to raise it to like 30 or 40. And he even said that if they do that, he'll fight in the UFC. But like he just wants them to get paid more, bro, because those UFC fighters, a lot of people don't know, they're not living off of that income. I mean, imagine if NFL players and NBA players that were on TV that played and scored buckets and stuff like that, if they couldn't even live off that. If that is that the case, if you just want to be seen on a camera, take your ass to the YMCA and every time you're done playing, ask for surveillance footage because it's not worth it. I mean, I don't know, man. What do you think about that, Kane?
Oh, for one, I think it's crazy how Dana White did that shit with Anderson Silva, putting out that information about him getting knocked out. I didn't even know about that, but that's some fuck shit, you know. I don't know why the fuck would he do that. Does he just hate Jake Paul? Like, come on now. And then I do agree, the fighters need to get paid more, man, because there ain't no way in hell you living off of 9 to 1,200 bucks a fucking year, bro. No, bro. No, they need to pay the fighters more. They put in too much work. They sustain too many injuries and all this other shit to get paid 9 to 1,200 bucks. Come on now, homie. I know people who make that shit in 2 weeks, and you telling me that they only make that shit a year? Man, no, that shit got to change. So, I mean, I respect what Jake Paul trying to do, getting them fighters paid more, and then only 10% of revenue. Come on now. See, that's how you know some of these fucking, I guess you could say, entertainment sources, sports, whatever, be robbing the competitors. They be robbing the shit out of them, and they don't even give a damn. Do they even provide fighters insurance? That I'm not sure. Probably not. But man, see, this is why you got to really look
Let
behind
me let me
closed
give
doors.
you an example, right? Tyson
Yeah.
Fury, he's a boxer. Off his last fight, he made $32 million. Francis Ngannou, the champion, undefeated, one of the biggest fighters in the UFC. His last fight, he only made $300,000. That's why he left the UFC. That's how much of a difference they get paid, bro. For the top of the top, they're only getting a couple 100,000. And if you're not Conor McGregor, you're not really getting paid like that.
Hell no, that's crazy. 300,000 versus what? 35 million?
Yeah.
That shit crazy, bro. Nah, that ain't it. See, nah, something gotta be done with that. That is cheap as fuck, bro. That is not it. Dana White, come on now, bro. You got all that fucking money. You can't even raise the pay for your damn fighters. Come on now.
And
No
they don't
wonder
got
why.
insurance.
No wonder why you hate Jake Paul. He trying to take that away from you with your stupid ass. But come on now. That shit crazy, man.
How can
Give
you
these
not root
fighters
for a guy like
credit.
Jake Paul? He has everything, yet he still wants
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. Like, man, see, this how you know people be greedy as fuck, bro. You, man, that shit stain my brain, dude.
And then
That
he
shit.
told Tommy Fury, he said, Tommy, if I lose, I'm gonna pay you double what I was gonna pay you. I mean, dude, an 8-0 fighter. Floyd Mayweather was fighting taxi drivers in his early fights. If you go and look at the records of some of the people that Floyd Mayweather was fighting, 8-44, 6-32. You see, when you look at that 50-0 record, it's easy to say, damn. But when you look at who he was fighting in the beginning to build that up, that's what a lot of boxers do. They fight nobodies that work at Pizza Hut, and then later on they end up fighting for a championship. But Tommy
Yeah.
Fury has only fought 8 fights, and if he wins, he's gonna get $7 million. He's gonna get 14 million if he wins now because it's double. So look at what Jake Paul is doing for fighters, even his own opponents, versus what Dana White's is doing for his employees that bring in those sales.
Yeah. And that just goes to show you, bro. And that's another thing is Jake Paul has the money to do that shit. So does Dana White. The difference is that Jake Paul actually give a damn about them fighters. Dana White only cares about the money and the entertainment. And that's facts.
Damn. Yeah, man. But that's really all I had to talk about. This is not going to be that long of an episode. I got things to do. So, yeah, man, I'm taking Jake. Kane's taking Jake. If Tommy wins, man, I think he solidified himself as a Fury. And another thing, if Jake Paul wins, he's going to officially be entered into the WBC rankings, which is the official boxing league. So this is huge for him because his goal is to win a world title.
That's
So,
crazy.
any last words, Kane?
Shit, man, there ain't nothing that you can't do if you put your mind to it. That's all I'm saying. See, God gave us the ability to do whatever we put our mind to it. So if Jake Paul really put his mind to winning that championship fight that he going for, he gonna do it. Tyson or Tommy Fury, I gotta get them mixed up again. Tommy Fury really put his mind to beating Jake Paul. He gonna do it. It all depends on the fighters themselves and their mentalities.
Yep. With that being said, man, we're going to go ahead and conclude this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode number 21. We'll be back regularly with a little bit of a longer episode tomorrow. But until then, man, stay alert, stay updated, hit the like button, and don't be a fuck nigga. I'm going to pass it to Kane, and then we're going to play the theme song, and then we're going to get out of here.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all share with y'all friends, y'all families, your mummies, your aunties, your grannies, and everybody else that y'all know, man. With that being said, I am up out of here.
And
Deuces.
here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, you know how we do it, man. Woo! Woo! Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. What? What? Yo! Hey! Y'all ever notice, man? Make sure you go check us out on TikTok. CP, my song CP is already on its way to 2 million streams, bro. We going viral, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're going viral.
Hey,
Crossover finna hit 1 million streams. You can't stop somebody that don't want to be stopped.
that's facts, man. Y'all go run that shit up, man. Y'all have
Woo!
it on its way.
3, 2, 1. Peace.
Deuces.